Good afternoon. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. I'm joined today by Council President Howie Bauer, Councilman Brian Small, and Councilman Corey Spiller, all three with connections to fire companies throughout Woodbridge Township. Howie in Fords, Brian in Port Reading, and Corey in Avenel. So, of course, they're joining us here tonight. Also joining us connected to the Avenel Fire Department is our Township Clerk, John Mitch. And I have 6 different proclamations. I'd like to read it first and then call everybody up. On February 16, 2022, the Avenel Fire Company was dispatched to 82 South McKinley Avenue in the Island section of Woodbridge Township in response to a 911 report of an active structure fire. Whereas upon arriving at the scene, Captain Adam Carlin and Firefighter Art Nevis, Avenel Fire Company, established the command center, while firefighters Matt Mizak and Anthony Torres advanced to the structure with pre-connected hose lines and attempted to knock down the fire and get entry to search for a person reported trapped inside the fully engulfed building. Whereas Captain Mike Barcelona, Woodbridge Fire Department, and Lieutenant Vincent Pereira, Colonia Fire Department, arrived on scene in response to the alarm and to assist in the search for the trapped victim. While facing extreme heat and fire conditions, Captain Mike Barcelona, Lieutenant Vincent Pereira, and Firefighter Matt Mizak entered the building, located and removed the victim from the fire scene, while Firefighter Anthony Torres knocked down the fire to secure the location without further injury or loss of life. And whereas Lieutenant Pereira is recognized, well, this is his proclamation. There's 5 others that say their own name. Whereas all 6 are recognized for their dedication to public safety and are honored before the Avenel Fire Company, Woodbridge Fire Department, Colonia Fire Department, Brethren Fire Officers, emergency responders, and our community. Now, therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Woodbridge Township Council, do hereby extend highest honor and accolades to all 6 for their devotion to duty. So, ladies and gentlemen, would Lieutenant Vincent Pereira please come up? There he is. Captain Mike Barcelona, please come up. Firefighter Art Nevis. Firefighter Anthony Torres. Firefighter Matt Mizak. And Captain Adam Carlin. Congratulations. This is always a pleasure to have these ceremonies where we thank people for literally saving somebody's life in Woodbridge Township. Without their quick action, without their knowledge of what to do, and in particular without their bravery, somebody might not be here tonight with us that is alive and well thanks to their efforts. That's got to be a phenomenal feeling. And many of you might have done it before, I don't know, but it's got to be a phenomenal feeling to know that you saved somebody's life. Who wants to be the unfortunate person who's going to be the speaker? Oh, you already know? All right. What did you guys draw straws and you got the short one?
Just simple, obvious.
All right. Why don't you describe the scene, because people don't know what this is like. You know, you can't duplicate it on TV. Tell people, you get to the scene, it's fully engulfed. Describe everything.
So yeah, like you said, we arrived on scene. Actually, as we were pulling up, we had heavy smoke showing. We pulled on the intersection of Bedford and South McKinley Ave. I instructed Firefighter Torres to hop out, wrap the hydrant, because we're going to need our own water supply, which he did. We ended up going, we pulled past the house, as we're always trained to do. Then Firefighter Mizak pulled a Minuteman hand line off the engine, stretched it to the backyard. It was actually there where we heard that PD was saying they heard knocking, they're convinced someone's in there. And from there, I called the first alarm. I was always taught, get the manpower, get them coming. You could always cancel them if need be, but luckily I didn't. I needed every single hand there. Everyone on scene did one hell of a job. You know, all the mutual aid companies, and then I couldn't thank my crew enough. We trained very hard. It's just like clockwork. Like it's just like we know what we're doing. We know what our work is. The scene was very hectic. I would have never expected to have, in my whole career, volunteer fireman and a career fireman, where I was in charge of someone being rescued. And I couldn't thank these guys enough. mine who actually lives a couple of houses away actually informed me the other day she was just released from the hospital. She's a lucky grandmother.
So you think you'll visit her? And
If possible, yeah. I would love to see how she's doing, all that, for sure.
wow, that's great. All right. I know our three council people here probably would want to say a few words. Let me start with Council President and former fire chief multiple times of Ford's Fire Company, Howie Bauer.
Thank you, Mayor, and I just congratulate this great crew here. Job well done, and like you said, being in the fire service, it's just second nature. You know, you just go to work. I said with the great communication between PD, the fire department, we work very well with each other, and we got to, rescue somebody out there. It was to congratulate the crew and everybody for their hard work, career and volunteer. I'm on the volunteer side, but we work well together. That's what's great about our township. But thank you very much, guys.
Councilman Brian Small, Port Running Fire.
I look out in the audience and I see the fathers that I grew up in the fire system with, and I see the looks on your faces of your proud sons. These guys did a great job. I know most of you for a long, long time, Vinny longer than I want to admit, but it's just a great job. Everything went well. I listened on the radio that day. You all should be proud of yourselves. Thank you.
Corey Spiller, who's the fire inspector for the Avenel Fire Department. And Councilman, would like to say a few words?
Congratulations, well deserved. You said it before, there's a term in the fire service called fully involved. This structure was fully involved. There's fire blown out of every inch, and coupled with the hazardous materials that you had, the crew's trying to get inside, things are popping off next to them. They can't get water on the fire because the gasoline's it's acting as an opposite effect. The victim was inside under shelves, tucked into the corner. So
Hiding.
yeah, like hiding. So I'm not a doctor, but I think probably one of the things that saved her, besides them getting in so quick, is she huddled up against the outside where the wall met the floor, so she gets some outside air. Because there's no rhyme or reason how anybody's getting pulled out of that structure still alive. So they did an unbelievable job. You saved her life, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Can we have the six of you please stand across here so we can get a picture for our social media? Okay, if you please bear with us for one more quick proclamation. Excuse me. I'd like to call up from our health department Anthony Rubino and Ashley Restaino. So with this proclamation, we are proclaiming Mental Health Awareness Month, May 2022. And I'd like to read the proclamation before asking Anthony to say a few words, and or Ashley if she'd like. Whereas each year millions of Americans face the reality of living with a mental illness, and since 1949, organizations across the United States observe May as Mental Health Awareness Month to fight stigma, provide support, educate the public, and advocate for policies that support people with mental illness and their families. And whereas mental health refers to our emotional and social well-being and impacts how we think, feel, and behave, as well as play a role in connecting with others, making decisions, handling stress, and many other aspects of daily life. And whereas after the last 2 years of pandemic living, many people see that stress, isolation, and uncertainty have taken a toll on their well-being. And Mental Health Awareness Month assists in providing foundational knowledge about mental health and resources that individuals can use to better their mental health. And whereas Woodbridge Township is proud to participate in Mental Health Awareness Month in May by offering residents from youth to seniors and everyone in between resources and programs that will aid their mental health. Now therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Council, do hereby recognize May in the year 2022 to be Mental Health Awareness Month throughout Woodbridge Township. So this is incredibly important. I have to say that 2 years ago, when there was a lot happening nationally with societal issues, a lot of protests, a lot of things were going on, and in Woodbridge, it opened our minds and our eyes to the fact that we were not great on dealing with mental health issues, particularly in interactions with the police department. It was a national issue at that time, among other national issues. But we looked at it very seriously, and we engaged our health department and Dr. Bonnie Nolan, who is a neurologist and an expert in issues like that, along with the health department, and we really changed our whole approach. We worked with Rutgers. We got special training for our police department. There are experts there that know specifically how to handle different type of issues, all things we didn't do before 2 years ago. So we recognized that. We knew we weren't good enough. And for a town that has the best police department in the state, we have to be great at everything. So we really worked on it. And I want to thank the health department, Dennis Green, Phil Wojcicki, Anthony, Ashley, everybody, especially Dr. Bonnie Nolan and her people in the drug awareness group, the recovery group. We really focused on it. And I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of these two people standing right here. So now I'd like to ask Anthony if you could say a few words on behalf of the health department.
As I just said, Mayor really said everything in really good detail, but I just want to add on a couple of things. In response to the number of mental health calls that we've been getting, I mean, we work with Deputy Director Niski regarding all the mental health incidences that we get in the town. So what we did is, under the leadership of Mayor McCormick, Director Green, and Dr. Bonnie Nolan, we created a new mental health referral program. And essentially what we're doing is that we have the police notify us immediately of any kind of incidences related to mental health. We take that information and we send it directly to the agencies who can best help that individual person. We follow up as best as we can. We do everything that we can in our power and our expertise to help them out. But then most of the time it just goes right to an agency who knows exactly what to do for that specific instance. The point being, get those calls to no longer be a repeat call. So outside of what the mayor just said, that's pretty much all I got.
Tell me about, like, Rutgers is some people we call.
Yeah.
Some of the hospitals have units that we call. Tell me a little bit about how you figure out who goes where and who are the people that we send.
Well, a lot of the time the police officers, they make that decision about where they go, when they go, and they really have good training in that as well. Rutgers, they'll follow up with the people the same night a lot of the time. They'll follow up and make sure that that person gets the help that they need. And a lot of the time they'll also go to the hospitals who have their own teams to respond to that each individual instance. Really, it's hard to talk about in specific because every single case is different.
Ashley, you want to add anything?
I mean, I think Anthony pretty much covered everything. We're always trying to work together and grow as a health department, and we really can't do it without the support of our community. So we really are just trying to make this the best community we can, and I think we're doing pretty good.
I think you're doing great. So now, pay close attention. Anthony Rubino, Ashley Restaino. When I'm long gone, and these three are long gone, they're going to be here running this health department, and I feel great about that. These are two incredibly talented and personable and mature and articulate and intelligent young people, and this town is in good shape as far as the health department goes in the long run with these two people, so thank you. Come on over. Come on. You got this, Joe? Yeah. Come on, Max. All right, Kat, come here. Max, you hold it right here. And your sister, you hold it right here. Come here. You hold it right here. Right here where my finger is. Hold it. And Max, you hold it. Now pull it down. Pull it down. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling more. Pull more. Pull more. That's it. That's it. Yay. Keep going. Keep going. Somebody tell me when to stop. Let's wait. You guys are doing great. Is that good? Someone tell me, is that good? All right, we're there. Yay, good job, good job.
He drives for pledge to the flag, remains silent for a moment of silence for all our military personnel serving here and abroad. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning the speeding of the Home News Tribune. The Star Ledger published a notice in 2021. Notice was posted on the municipal bulletin board and should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan. Councilman Patel. Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus. Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilwoman McAuliffe.
Here.
Vice President Ficarra.
Here.
And President Bauer.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from April the 5th and April the 19th?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to take letters A and B by consent. They're both affecting Chapter 7. The first is to do a delete and add for restricted parking on Buns Lane here in Woodbridge. And the second is for an amendment to Section 7-38.1 to add May Street. And with that said, can I get a motion to take A and B up on second and third reading? Let public hearing be open.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public hearing is now open on letters A and B. B is a handicap parking designation. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinances be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter C is an ordinance amending the Metro Park Wood Avenue South redevelopment plan. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for review as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We will take letters D, E, F, G, and H that are listed as first reading ordinances by consent. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on May 6, 2022, with notice of public hearing to be held on May 17, 2022 at 6 p.m.?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolutions, Mr. President, we have numbers 1 through 21 listed before you. Got I get a motion to approve 1 through 21 by consent?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. This time we'll go through the public portion of our meeting. Please state your name, part of the township, or the state you are from, and you have a one-time, 5-minute time period. All video taking must be taken within a designated area in the rear of the room. There will be no shouting out from your seat. Please respect each other. Please make sure all signs or posters do not block walkway aisles. Thank you.
Is there anybody from the public this evening that wishes to speak? Hearing no comment from the public.
Good evening. James Dabrowski, Woodbridge proper. I hope everyone had a happy Earth Day and enjoyed the Woodbridge Earth Day Festival. As you're all well aware, and as you all voted in favor of, a corporation by the name of Competitive Power Ventures has proposed to build and operate a 630 megawatt gas-fired power plant in the Caseby section of our community. This would be the third fossil fuel power plant in Woodbridge Township, and it would be sited directly next to an existing gas-fired power plant that is already emitting millions of tons of greenhouse gases and toxic pollutants that are negatively impacting public health and air quality. The Perth Amboy Area Branch NAACP is asking that our Woodbridge community leaders please reverse this detrimental decision and support us in calling on Governor Murphy to reject permits for the proposed gas-fired power plant through the adoption of the resolution you were all emailed. This resolution has thus far been passed by the Edison Council, the Highland Park Council, the Hoboken Council, the Perth Amboy Green Team, and most recently by the Highland Park Board of Education. If the proposal as currently designed moves forward, it would result in a new fossil fuel-fired power plant operating 24/7, 365 for decades. The power plant would be a major new source of air pollution in the state, including greenhouse gas emissions, bringing us backwards in the fight to protect public health and create a sustainable and resilient clean energy economy. Pollutants produced by the plant would include particulate matter, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, sulfuric acid, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, nitrogen oxides, which contribute to the formation of acid rain, ozone, and smog, and known carcinogens such as formaldehyde. Exposure to these pollutants is linked to cancer, neurological, cardiovascular, and respiratory disease, premature death, and birth defects. The proposed gas-fired power plant would be sited in Caseby, the least white section of Woodbridge Township, less than 1 mile from Edison, less than 2 miles from Perth Amboy and South Amboy, and less than 3 miles from Metuchen and Sayreville, with thousands of homes and many parks and schools sitting directly downwind from the proposed site. Predominantly low-income communities of color would be disproportionately impacted by the pollution from this power plant. Each of these communities has been designated as overburdened under New Jersey's new environmental justice law. These densely populated areas would be adversely affected by adding a major source of air pollution. Building a new fossil fuel power plant that would operate for decades directly contradicts New Jersey's legal commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 80% below 2006 levels by 2050. Governor Murphy also has signed recent laws and issued a wide range of executive orders to fight climate change and promote environmental justice by transitioning New Jersey to 100% clean energy by 2050. We need Governor Murphy to uphold the state's commitments by rejecting this gas-fired power plant proposal. You know, graduating from Colonia High School, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about the growing number of former students and staff members who have developed brain tumors. I commend the township for taking this seriously and not waiting for other levels of government to act, issuing an emergency contract to experts to do intensive environmental testing of the campus. But the truth is that I'm much more concerned about this proposed third toxic power plant adversely affecting the health of our future generations. There's no way we can look our children in the eye with a clear conscience without trying to do something to stop this. And I hope our community leaders will act with the same sense of urgency as they are with the Colonia High School situation. Last month's sobering report from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change stresses how we simply must cease new fossil fuel projects or else face absolutely catastrophic consequences. The science has been ever more consistent and ever more clear, said Inger Anderson, Executive Director of the UN Environment Program. What's needed now is political courage, she added. That's what it will take, the ability to look beyond current interests. Governments, businesses, organizations, and individuals all must summon the willpower to do better. To quote from Dr. Seuss's classic children's book, The Lorax, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. We sincerely hope that our Woodbridge elected officials will care enough to stand against this proposed third toxic power plant in our already overburdened environmental justice community and pass this resolution. The NAACP would also like to extend our invitation to a public education forum we'll be co-hosting on Saturday, May 14th at 2:30 p.m. at the Jankowski Community Center in Perth Amboy. All are welcome to join us in person or virtually by registering online at the Food and Water Watch New Jersey Facebook page. That's Food and Water Watch New Jersey. I have flyers for that public education forum to share with you all tonight. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Are
there any other?
Council President, can I-
Yes.
Back a few months ago, prior to Christmas, when the gentleman came here and made a presentation on the power plant, and we voted, I did follow up with the Department of Education, and I told them that I voted yes on it, not that we really had any choice, because we weren't necessarily part of the technical. It was, they were within the boundaries of their construction. But I did express the concern and shared the paperwork that was shared with us with them. And I said, I just want you to know that I personally voted for this, but these were the concerns expressed to us. So I shared it with the representative. I don't have it in front of me, but I can get who I spoke to. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public this evening? Hearing no other.
John Tarek Woodbridge. I got a couple of things over here. Tomorrow, I believe, it's going to be the zoning planning board meeting about the additional 65 units apartments in the Meadow Park Terrace. And I believe there's going to be another 194 on Rose Street, and additional 83, I believe, on Fulton Street, coming up in this couple of months or weeks. My question is, are those, or some of those apartments, will be tax exempt or pilot programs, or they're going to be taxed like most of us? Mayor?
Marta, is Menlo Park Terrace is a pilot, right? The people in the Menlo Park Terrace project have applied for the pilot. I didn't understand what your second one was.
Well, there's another one on Rose Street, I believe, 94 units coming up,
Where?
next to the school.
What school?
Was a school over here, 14? 11?
That was approved a long time ago.
It was approved a long time ago. Is it a pilot program or is it?
I believe it was approved a long time ago.
Okay, how about Fulton Street?
What about Fulton Street?
Main and Fulton.
What about it?
So be 83 units coming up, no?
I don't think we have any application on that. Main and Fulton? We don't have an application for that, no.
There's a lot of talk about, a couple of weeks, we know about the incidents in Colonia High School. Thank you, John.
Every day, more and more people are concerned what's happening. I understand, I talk to certain people that work there. There's a work test to be done. They check everything on measures we can say, every square inch of the building. And the results are not available yet. And I believe some of the new administration is kind of downplay this. It's not a big incident. We're not going to be there. I think it's a serious thing. You should not downplay it. You should face it whatever it is, but let's find out. Because not just Jersey, that's the rest of the world also about. So let's get through it. And I would recommend that we should not just do the Colonia High School. We should take every school, like I said before, every government building that was built over everybody years ago. Something serious is there. It's not any part of us fault over here, but somebody maybe did something wrong. Now let people put people at peace, because kids are afraid to go to school. And instead of a child go to the same school, the mother died from it. And every day, each kid to school has a different opinion, don't conclusion. What happened, how it happened, people are afraid. So I don't think you could have just one source. You should say somebody, every school, just every school, as soon as it's possible.
Who in my administration and our administration is downplaying the severity of this issue?
Well, I believe I don't want to mention.
Oh, you should mention a name because I don't think it's true. And if you can't mention a name, then don't talk about it because it's not true. Nobody in this administration is downplaying it. We are all taking it very, very seriously. We acted quick. We tested quick. We're talking to the state regularly. We're talking to the board regularly. Nobody in this administration is downplaying it. So you should recant your statement that somebody is, unless you can tell me who.
I don't want to put him on the spot.
Of course you do. Yes, go ahead.
I'll let you know you are aware of it.
I know you're not telling the truth, Mr. Vitarik. Nobody has told you that. Nobody has told you that from this administration. I can assure you.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Let me know now.
I would like to know, another question would be, I wanted Councilman Bobby, about Route 9 and Main Street. Got a new agenda over here. I said, this is Nancy Drummond at 2. What's really all about Route 9 and Main Street? Do you know what it is? What are you asking? What's the plan for Route 9 and Main Street?
Mr. Administrator,
7.
Route 9 and Main Street is getting an intersection improvement for both the entrance from Main Street to Route 9 North and the entrance from Route 9 South. It's all being done in conjunction with the state, which owns Route 9, and the county, which owns Main Street, and it's all being funded by them.
Okay, it's going to be done.
Yes?
How soon?
Don't know. It all depends on the engineering.
Thank you, Mr. Vitarik. Your 5 minutes is up. Thank you. Your 5 minutes is up. Thank you. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
So I'd like to talk a little bit about the same issue that the person before me. Those are mainly questions to the Department of Health of Woodbridge Township. I'm not sure if anyone's present from the Board of Health or the Department of Health? I can't hear.
No, but we can answer any question. If not, we can get back to you.
Okay, sure. First of all, just a general question. I'd like to know how, in what capacity is the Health Department of Woodbridge involved in the ongoing investigation at the high school?
The township hired consultants, T&M Associates, who prepared an action plan for us. We went over that with our health department. We went over that with the state agencies. We went over that with federal agencies. Everybody concurred that it was the right course of action to take. We approved that at our April 5th meeting when the council authorized $450,000 in spending, and then a $221,350 contract with T&M Associates, who then subcontracted with Cabrera Associates. They began testing on April 9th. They finished testing inside the building on April 25th. They finished testing outside the building on April 30th. And right now we are waiting for the results. So our health department is in constant contact with us.
Okay, and the reason I'm asking is because when I spoke with, and I can't remember the name of the person, and it was prior to the investigation, I have read that they told me they're not involved directly. They were just collecting the information about the cancer cases. So
no, we are not connecting. We are not collecting any information about the cancer cases.
Okay.
That's being done by a private individual.
Okay.
And we are involved, but if you asked before the investigation, they probably would have said they're not involved. But now that we started the investigation, they are certainly involved.
So Woodbridge Township Health Department is not collecting those data. Mayor, do you know if the New Jersey Department of Health is collecting the cancer cases data?
No, right now, nobody's collecting except the private individual. But I'm glad you asked that. I was going to mention it later. We've talked to the Department of Health. We've stressed to them the need to work with their cancer registry and find a portal or find a way for all of the people involved that are victims or a family of a victim to go onto that portal with a special link that can connect them to a way for their medical professionals to enter everything they have about them. How many cancers? Is this your only one? Family history, other data about them. Because right now what we're working with is a list. It's a scary list because the numbers are high, but it's not been validated or verified in any way, shape, or form. And the only people that can do that are the people at the State Department of Health. We had conversations with them the last several days, including yesterday morning, and they're working with us on how they should design that portal or that method to collecting information, because if it's connected to Colonia High School, there's got to be a way for people to enter that they went there. Right now, that's not in the registry where you went to high school, from what I'm told.
So the follow-up question, two questions I have. I think it's a little concerning that no one from the officials has the list yet, and yet we're spending $200,000 on the potential cancer cluster investigation. I think collection of the data of the cancer cases should be priority before we open up to any investigations. And the next question would be...
Well, hold on, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because if we wait for the data to be collected and verified by the state, it could be months. And I don't think we should wait, because we know everybody seems to agree that radiation is a source of brain cancer and brain tumors. So it makes common sense in our opinion to start testing for radiation. So we test inside with the radon detectors, and we test outside with the gamma ray meters that go all over the grounds, all over the school. It would be inappropriate to wait.
Sure.
We did really start the testing, but now there's a 2-week period where we have to wait for the results.
Sure, and we as parents tremendously appreciate the quickness in which the township moved in with the investigation. However, I still think that, okay, and I agree with you, Mayor, on that, but if there's already a list that is composed and obviously has to be verified, wouldn't it be easier for the New Jersey State Health Department to get that list from this private individual and kind of cut the time, that has to be spent on the investigation in half, I would imagine?
I know your time is up, but I'm happy to talk to you, but...
Can you just ask your questions at the end?
Yeah, I'll cover that at the end. But if you want to talk outside, I'll talk to you. I'm happy to explain what we're doing.
Oh, sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other comments from the public this evening?
want to first say that I'm sorry for your loss, John Lynch. I wanted to pick up something that I kind of lost sight of, and that is that you have a community choice aggregation plan, an alternative energy plan that I believe has an option to opt out. I just want to find out, because I am concerned that it could greatly increase my costs over time, phasing out the fossil fuels and moving to alternative energy between now and 2030. What is the plan for opting out? Is it online? How would I proceed if I chose to opt out?
Didn't we have an issue years ago with the opt-in?
Yeah, we did this several years ago. Frankly, we don't like the law that says you have to opt out. I think the law should be you should opt in. And if you want it, you get it. But what happened was the communication was not so clear. It didn't look like an official envelope. It didn't look like something that you had to answer, and people threw it out, including my mother. And all of a sudden, they're in the system for energy that they didn't want to be in, and I don't like that. It didn't work out. We dropped it, and we vowed never to do it again. But there was a petition prepared last summer, and we had to act on that because it had the required number of signatures. We could have done two things. We could have passed an ordinance and worked on a new energy aggregation plan, or we could have put it to the voters. We decided to put it to two ordinances, and we passed it, and now we're working on putting that out. So we don't have the answers to your questions yet because we haven't gone out to bid. We haven't prepared bid documents yet. We haven't gone out to bid, but we're working with possibly joining other towns because they're in the same boat we are, and we think we can get some cost savings. Cost savings, but when you put a lot of people together, I'm losing the word.
Yeah, pooling.
But so we're thinking we work with some other towns and we can get a better deal. Yeah. So we still have some time left on that ordinance before we have to do something. Right. And we're working on it, and I'll be happy to share the answers once we know what we're going to do.
Okay. Thank you. Co-op?
Something co-op, that's what I'm thinking of, yep.
And I remained, last time we had an alternative plan opt out, I didn't opt out. It was some kind of auction, and we saved maybe $20, $30 a month for a few months, and then we got a bill for, I recall, like $600, $700 in a month. And it just, I remember when President Obama was talking about moving toward alternative energies, he said that the cost of energy would necessarily skyrocket. And so this is still echoing in my mind and gives me pause and concern before I enter into something like that. But thank you for...
I could not agree with you more. We did not want to do this. We don't like it, but the petition drive was forced on us. And I think opt-out is an awful policy. We actually talked to state legislators about changing the law to make it opt-in. Because if you want it, you get it. But we can never reach 100% of the people and tell them what's going on. Never. So people will always be put into this plan without making the decision to go into it. Yeah. And right now the energy market, which you know, is very sporadic. Right. And I don't think right now anybody would say that they went into it. So we don't want to do this. We clearly don't want to do this. Right. And I'm happy to talk to you further since you know what you're talking about.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public?
Good evening, Tom Harris, New Jersey. Pardon. Allergies. Picking up from the last meeting, I said to the mayor when I was questioning about the Ross Street School, the development of the Ross Street School parking lot, that I would go and find prior correspondence that went back and forth with the Board of Education. I had that with me tonight, but I only have 5 minutes to speak, so I can't go through all of it. But suffice it to say that it goes back to July of 2018, which requested knowledge, the school acknowledged whether they had any correspondence with the McCormick administration or Mr. McCormick himself at all, as well as any internal discussions. And the responses that I got back were that they had none. But let me be fair in saying that, because it may fall out of the purview that the mayor had related about speaking to the former superintendent. I was specifically asking for the time frame of July 27th and the 30th, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that, between January 1st in 2018 and July 27th, 2018. If any of that had transpired, and perhaps the mayor had spoken to the superintendent at the time, either prior to or sometime thereafter. In all fairness, one has to assume that the school board was certainly aware of the project, and in fact, there was even a by the Township Commission, a study by Sucker, I believe it is, and Associates to do an appraisal on Ross Street. So again, I find it very hard to believe that the school is unaware, but more importantly, why would we still want to put a huge apartment complex right next to that school, make it less safe for the teachers, the students, and to what avail? In saying that, I might agree with Mr. Dombrowski. I agree too. The power plant only benefits this town in the form of monetary. It is not going to provide electricity to us as I understand it. So therefore, it is going to create more harm to the individuals here. For what? For money? I would agree with them. If we can stop this plant, we should stop it. It's not benefiting this community from a health standpoint. And the fact that it may be in a less white community, I think, is irrelevant. These are members of the Woodbridge Township community. We don't care about race, creed, or color here. Everybody is equal. So anybody that's going to be harmed by those plans, we should really look at it and see if it's worth it. Moving on, I had asked also about whether any of the costs for the Vito Mazda project that's going to change Main Street and put in a parking garage will be borne by Vito Mazda. Why should the taxpayers pay for a 5-story or even a portion of the 5-story 250-unit parking spaces that they'll need, as well as the town intends to use for other purposes, including, I understand, the number of spots designated for teachers during the day if they are ousted from the current spot. Finally, I had a question about whether the town is planning or will allow a commercial pot shop, marijuana shop, if you will, to appear anywhere in Woodbridge proper, be it on Main Street or anywhere else. We have a medical one, but will we allow one for recreational use? Thank you.
Council President, Vito Mazda is paying for his share of the parking deck, and we passed an ordinance that does not allow any recreational marijuana in town other than the medical marijuana facility on Route 1 in Woodbridge. That is automatically grandfathered by the state of New Jersey and not up to us whether we allow it or not.
Great. Any other questions?
With the other question, yeah.
Okay. The power plant.
We're worried about the safety of the parking deck.
Exactly.
So what are you worried about? Outsiders parking there, or children being in the area, or traffic?
Obviously, the traffic, the congestion, outsiders coming in as...
Well, I did sit out there a few days on the annual way out there, for the 7-Eleven, watch how many kids actually walk to school nowadays. We were young, we all walk to school. Most kids are driven. So like 45 minute gap, I saw about 6 kids being walked to school with their parents. Most kids nowadays are dropped off by the parents. So I think it's not going to be a safety issue. And if there's going to be a safety issue, I think we'll have crossing guards out there, which are there now, and we'll also supply with a police officer.
Well, again, how does the town benefit, how does that school benefit having 94 or 95 units right next to it, losing a parking lot? The traffic issue is one of the primary concerns. It's going to affect that area because there's going to be a lot more traffic going in and out of the school. And obviously, 94 apartments, if that's what it is going to bring a lot more cars. In addition to that, you're building a 250-unit parking spot. So many of those are allocated to the Mazda.
Thank you.
There's a lot to consider. That's not the best thing for this town. I wish the council would.
Thank you, Mr.
And our school board doesn't allow it.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, my name is Linda and I'm from the Terrace. I have a question because I just spoken to the township about this today. Usually a Vito Mazda person, I love going there. My daughter goes there every month as a regular thing. But now we were told that they're building this large complex there. Someone asked me today when I was on a senior bus, do the developers pay taxes or do they get some sort of 30-year or 20-year ban or do they pay from the minute they start the project? Because since it's changing the whole outlook of our town and making it not feel like a suburb anymore, starting to feel more like a city in many ways. You know, I'm concerned about a project in Menlo Park Terrace, which I've already talked to the mayor about, talking to the zoning board. But do they pay starting day one for their taxes? They're not exempt from paying taxes just because they're building for that.
Everybody pays taxes. If it's a residential unit, they start paying when they collect rent. If it's commercial in terms of a power plant or a retail space or a warehouse, they start paying in milestones as they complete the project. And then they pay for the next 30 years in the pilot payment, and they pay taxes the rest of their lives, like everybody else. They get a very slight discount, somewhere between 10 and 15%, but as I've said many times, the way the pilot program works, we keep 95% of whatever they pay, which is, say, 85% of normal taxes. So any day of the week, I'll take 95% of 85% instead of 25% of 100%. And plus the 25% of 100% comes into the pot of revenues, which is restricted as to how much it can grow. Pilots have no restriction. The pilots, the answer to the question before is the pilot programs on Main Street are paying for Ross Street School, and they're paying for Woodbridge Middle School. And those two things have had phenomenal impact positively on property values in the area, without a doubt. A brand new school for grammar school and a practically brand new middle school are amazing for property values. The same thing's happening throughout the town with all the school improvements and parks improvements and playground improvements. All the money we collect goes right back into the community, senior centers, youth centers, you name it. The pilot programs have been phenomenal for us, but it's to boil down to your question, every single entity in this community, except a nonprofit, pays taxes, including all the development projects you're referring to.
So there's a few apartments rented over by the million, which we pass every day.
Vermillion?
The Vermillion one,
I think they have about 150 rented. Once they build it, once they open them, they're rented.
they're rented, so so they pay taxes on the ones that are now open to be.
Once they collect rent, they start paying us a percentage of the rent.
Okay. And then I have one other question, which was also asked me today on the CVS. Do people that say that their houses have churches in them, do they get tax breaks because they say they're a church?
I have never heard of a house saying they're a church, honestly.
I never heard of it either, so I said, I guess since I'm here, so I said.
Linda, if you find one, let me know and we'll check it out.
I shall ask the person on the other side.
All right.
So thank you very much, John.
If it was that easy, why wouldn't everybody say they had a church in the basement?
I was thinking the same thing. I'll have a Bible study in my house, yeah.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
I thought they were. Absolutely. All the same thing.
Hi, my name is Ricky, and I'm a concerned parent at Columbia High School and University of my here. Had some questions about the testing that's happening. One of the sentences that amuses me from the email that we got from the Principal Pace was, there was no really health concern at this time, and that is stated by the Woodbridge Health Department. So I would like to know on what basis have we come up to that, because the testing has just begun, and we don't know what's out there.
The basis is we don't know that there is a health concern, so we can't say that there is. We test it and we have to wait for the results. There may be, hopefully there won't be, but we can't say there's a health concern because we have no evidence that there is one.
Well, there is no evidence, but there are possibilities. You yourself just say that there are so many high number of cases that came out, and the effect for these things to happen or to occur to your health is going to take so long to happen. There is evidence, I would say, that's out there. If not 100%, there's still some gathered data that's out there that shows that there could be.
Well, there always could be. There always could be. Right now, it's only a list that was generated off Facebook, and no health professional, no environmental professional, no state or federal official is going to act on a Facebook list. They're going to wait for us to get the results, and they're going to wait for the Department of Health to do a study and really dig into it before anybody acts. Nobody's acting off a list that came from social media. Not that, listen, I don't mean to degrade Al Lupiano or the job he's done. He's done a terrific job seeking people out and advertising and saying, tell me your issues and get on that list if it's appropriate. Wonderful effort, wonderful person. But it's still not verified, and it needs to be.
Okay, so then that raises my next question is there any personnel assigned by the Woodbridge Health Department that is expediting this process and taking the lead on it to make sure that it moves on faster, because it is in fact affecting our kids' health. Our kids go there
The answer is no. The Department of Health at the state level is the one handling this. We are not equipped with experts or computer programs. We don't run a cancer registry, but the State Department of Health does. I personally talked to the Commissioner of Health twice in the last 2 weeks. We've talked to people at the staff level in the last 2 weeks, and they're aware of the issue. They're working on the issue. It's going to take time. Having worked in state government for 4 years, I can assure you there's not a lot of people that move fast. We moved very, very fast, but the state doesn't move as fast. So I don't want to say they're going to have answers to a cancer registry anytime soon, but they are aware of it, and they have to be the ones. Our health department's not equipped.
Okay, no, thank you, appreciate it. The question, the reason for my questions is, it's kids' health, and I know for every one of us, kids' health is our most priority. And when COVID hit, I think all of us got into panic mode and we acted really fast. So at this point, this is not at a big level, but it is at a high school and maybe the surrounding areas, I don't know. But the kids are going there on an everyday basis and they could be impacted and we don't know what's out there. So has anybody done any strategic thinking on it to see what could be done so that at least temporary there's a rescue plan if things push us to shop?
The strategic thinking involved setting up testing, recognizing radiation as a common and likely source of brain cancer. That's been tested for the air, the building itself, and all 28 acres around the building have all been tested. We've got to respect the science. It takes time to go through and have the laboratories evaluate that information. We'll get the reports. We'll share all the details with the federal agencies who we've talked to regularly, the state agencies, our health department, the county health department, our consultants. We'll all dig into that information, find out what it's saying, and then come up with a plan for what we're going to do next, and then talk to all of you. And we'll be happy. We've been very transparent. Everything is on our website. Everything is on our public pages. We've talked about it at council meetings and been on TV, and this is on TV. So we're completely transparent with everything we're doing, and we take it as seriously as you do. We make believe it's our kids in the school, and we're acting accordingly. I'm happy to talk to you and the woman next to you afterwards. I'm happy to fill you in on everything. Believe me, I understand your frustration and your passion for getting to the bottom of it. We share
I
that.
wouldn't say it's a frustration, it's more of a concern because our kids are going there, especially like ours are like 9th, 10th graders. We still have another few years to go and they're still going there knowing we don't know what's out there.
The only good thing, not good thing, nothing's good. The only fact to keep in mind is that all the cases seem to be centered around 1975 to 1999. There has not been more than a handful of cases reported in the last 2 decades.
Thank you. Any questions?
Happy to talk to you.
Yes, please, thank you.
As soon as the public session is done, I'll take you outside.
Thank you so much.
Any other comments from the public? There are no other comments. Close.
There are times I stand up here and I don't want to stand up here. This time I want to stand up here. Last meeting I was here and Mr. Councilman Anderson decided to challenge me about what's being taught to our children in school. Here are things that have been sent to me by parents. A class has 30 students. There are 15 students that identify as non-binary. What's the ratio of non-binary students to other gender? That's a math question. The Cardinal School, that I think was kindling. Here's personal, what age group? I'm talking, you said it was 5. Don't take my time. Don't take my time, Anderson. You were 5, you said it was 5. Person puzzle, right here. This is about a person, Miss Angela. No aspirations on Miss Angela. Question number 3, algebra. Y equals x plus 2, 3x plus 6, y equals 12. Angela was sexually abused by her mother's what? At age 8, which shaped her career choices and motivation for writing. That's an algebra question. Another one. Trying to support her single mother, she worked as a pimp, prostitute, and what? To answer the algebra question. Here's this one. What's this? Oh. The rest of this is all started by Murphy's wife. We don't know how far down. You have radical activist teachers, some sitting in this room, that aren't going to pay any attention to what you say their parameters are. And they are going to twist a kindergarten's mind. And these parents are angry. And they want the NGA cut out of the school system. And they want union teachers dismissed if they're going to teach this garbage. And I want an apology from you, because as a taxpayer, you told me that you don't have to prove anything to me. No, this royalty crap comes to an end. I am not your serf, sir. I am the taxpayer. And you people reach into my pocket for hundreds of dollars every month, and you have the nerve to sit there and tell me you don't have to prove anything to me?
You're wrong.
Wrong about what?
You don't know when the standards start, what age. You said a 5-year-old, sir.
Yes.
The standards don't start at 5.
Watch. Read. Watch the sicko, because they're already doing it. You have a lot of sick teachers in this system. If you don't believe, go to New York. You see how many are in the rubber room. You have a lot. One other thing, I want your apology. I am a citizen. And you are saying you don't have to prove anything to me? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you don't want to prove anything to me, then resign immediately.
You didn't prove anything right there.
You must resign.
You didn't prove anything.
Resign. No. I pay taxes, sir.
You're wrong about the standards.
I pay taxes.
You're wrong about
prove
the standards.
it.
You're wrong about what you said. You're wrong.
Prove it.
I just told you.
Prove this. You prove it.
You said 5 years old.
I got 20 pages at home. I have the NGA memo.
Okay.
And you got radical teachers sitting in this room. They'll do anything for children to twist their minds. I want an apology.
You're not getting an apology from me.
Fine. One other.
You get your facts right.
I got my facts right. I got very angry down. I got my facts right.
You're coming from a news source, whatever news source you got from. What school?
Kennel Inn, I said.
And what age group?
This was middle school.
What age group?
Middle school.
You said 5 years old. At last meeting, you said 5 years old. Middle school and 5 years old.
You're starting it in kindergarten. Don't deny it. You are starting it in kindergarten.
The standards have been, the districts have been instructed by the governor that they're supposed to sit down with their constituents and stakeholders, and they are going to decide the best way to deliver the standards. Okay? But they don't start at 5 years old. You came here and you made a statement and said a teacher was teaching a sex act to a 5-year-old.
I didn't say that.
That's what you said. Go back and watch the report.
You look at it.
Go back and watch the report.
I didn't say that.
You were wrong.
So were you. You don't tell me you have no right. You don't have no right.
If you're wrong in your information, I'm going to
you are.
Time's up, thank you.
Comment, and make a motion that the public comment portion be closed.
Motion.
Second, any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Time to go into our agendas. My agenda's in order. Have a few announcements. One second. Woodbridge Summerfest 2022 will be held on June 4th at Merle Park. Gates open at 12 noon. It'll be a fun-filled day of great food, music, children activities, beer garden. Featured bands performing the Dead Cowboys, Shore Sounds, Southern Steel, Saints in the City, Starman, and Willie Dial. This is under, I have it listed, but under Greg McCarra's prior agenda, but I'll say it anyway. Is that right, sir?
Sure. Oh, yes.
Woodbridge annual fireworks will be held on July 1st, a rain date of July 2nd at Alvin Williams Park. Park opens at 4 p.m. Musical guests will be AM Gold. May is support your military month, so Woodbridge Township is supporting our troops in rally, which will be on Wednesday, May 11th at 6 p.m. at George Frederick Plaza at the monument between Woodbridge Main Library and Woodbridge High School. Rain location that day will be the Woodbridge High School Auditorium. Your support helps our local military families know their sacrifice in defense of our freedom have not been forgotten. If you know any name of Woodbridge Township residents in the military, please contact 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan at coloniacorner@comcast.net. And this Saturday, the Woodbridge Community Center, will be the 10th Annual Emergency Services Cup. The first game will be the Woodbridge Warriors sled hockey team at 4:15 versus the Woodbridge PD, and at 5:45 be the Woodbridge Fire and EMS against the Woodbridge Police. Tickets are $10 for a donation. All the money we raise for this event will go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so come out and support your local first responders for a good cause. That's all I have. Council Vice President Carroll.
Thank you, Council President.
Oh, excuse me. Sure. One last thing, most important thing. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart. First from the community center and the club at Woodbridge. If you live in Woodbridge, you've probably been inundated with a lot of the brochures, spring programs, summer camp programs, spring and summer programs at the club. So there's a lot of good things going on. I want to point out just quickly from the Woodbridge Youth and Health Services, they're modeling an event after Shark Tank. It's a wellness initiative for students 9th through 12th grade. Participants can apply individually or as a team up to 5 members. A student can only participate in one application. The competition is open to the public, private, homeschooled students, and encouraged to apply. There is no fee to enter. All applications must be original ideas that can be implemented. Applications initiated must not be based on concepts that is illegal, unethical, or offensive, and it's certainly open up to all races, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, class of people. There are awards for this. There's a number of rules, but the first tier, in other words, first place, will receive $700 cash to initiate their program. They'll also receive guidance and support. Second place is $500, and third place is $300, all with guidance. Application deadlines close May 21st, and the finalists will be noticed on the 27th. Again, this is through our Woodbridge Youth and Health Services. And then just going back to the community center, all the rage now in sports is pickleball, and pickleball is part of our community center. And if you're a member, it isn't part of your membership. So if you want to check out on the craze, stop by our community center. Also, our miniature golf and batting cages are open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. Number 3, Poor Reading First Aid Squad is holding its annual Mother's Day flower sale Friday, Saturday, and Sunday across the street from the Poor Reading Firehouse. So please support the Poor Reading First Aid Flower Sale. Mayor's Max Cafe, located 881 West Avenue in Port Reading, is open from 11 till 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Woodbridge Elks, 2116, having a couple of events. On May 7th, 5 to 7, is Cinco de Mayo celebration, open to Elks and guests, benefits Special Olympics. And on May 21st, the Elks are holding a pig roast fundraiser for Jessica Beretta. She was a high school student that was injured in a motor vehicle accident. That's May 21st from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door. If you're interested, you could contact Scott Schroeder at 908-514-0516. A couple of announcements. I remind the public that May 15th through May 21st is National Police Week. I remind us to please have thoughts and prayers for the people of Ukraine. Please support all our first responders, and God bless America. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman DeJesus is not here tonight. Councilman Spiller.
Thank you, Councilman President Bauer. Item number 2, Eric LeGrand Believe Park now has the bicycles as part of the bicycle share program. The bikes are free to rent from dawn to dusk. Bikers will need to download the Movatic app, M-O-V-A-T-I-C, and that's available on iPhone and Android to set up their account. In its first week of use at Tangent Park, last year there were 96 rentals with 7,575 minutes of riding time. So that's very exciting. Came home today, looked up, saw somebody riding around in LeGrand Park. So Woodbridge Golden Saints, item number 4, the Woodbridge Golden Saints are presently conducting free cheer clinics from kindergarten through 7th grade on Wednesdays in May. Please wear sneakers, and the clinics are from 6:30 to 8. For more information, email the Saints at eboard@goldensaints.org. Clinics are held at Cypress Center, 881 West Avenue, Port Reading. Item number 7, Route 1 redevelopment. I'm pleased to announce that the redevelopment agency has named Wick Companies as the redeveloper for Area 14, which is the property where the old Pier 1 Imports is located. The redevelopment area will now be called Cloverleaf Center. Keeping up with the theme of Route 1 redevelopment and our desire to redevelop the corridor and increase quality of life matters, the township has embarked on a program to visit and inspect the various businesses and retail outlets along the Route 1 corridor in order to make certain that they are in compliance with township regulations and to ensure that visitors and clientele enjoy a safe and healthy experience. Excuse me. Inspectors from various township departments, health, planning, and public works, as well as the police department, have issued complaints targeting junk and debris, unpermitted signage, failure to maintain landscaping, sanitation violations of the health codes, and fire codes. I'm pleased to report that the vast majority of businesses along the Route 1 corridor are in compliance, and those few businesses that have issues have agreed to come into initiative. I'd like to thank the mayor, the administration, and the various departments who are involved in this. Item number 8, Avenel Fire Department. I'd just like to acknowledge and congratulate the firefighters from Avenel Fire Department, as well as Colonia and Woodbridge, who received proclamations this evening before the council meeting. On February 16th, firefighters searched and found a victim, female victim, that was unconscious in a dwelling that was fully involved. It was their swift actions that the victim is alive today. As a matter of fact, I believe she just got discharged from St. Barnabas a couple days ago. The rest of my agenda is in order, Council President. Just a few announcements. The Rawway Avenue Railroad crossing will be closed this Friday, May 6th, weather permitting, from approximately 6 p.m. through Saturday, May 6th, approximately 6 p.m. Again, this is weather permitting. Please plan an alternate route. I just want to acknowledge and thank all the correctional officers this week, as this week is National Correctional Officer Week, and also National Police Week starts May 15th, as we remember all the fallen officers that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you to all emergency responders, fire, EMS, Woodbridge Police Department, CERT, all our Public Works Township Police. Happy Mother's Day to all our moms out there, moms on the council. God bless America. Thank you, Council President Bauer.
Thank you. Councilman Meehan's excused. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. I'll start with our jobs. I'll start with our rec department. Springwood Swim Club in-person registration is May 13th through the 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and May 20th to May 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Registration is at the Springwood Swim Club, 150 McKinley Avenue in Colonia. You can also contact our Woodbridge Township Recreation website if you need more information. Regarding our jobs, disabled veteran and veteran business summit is on May 10th from 8 to 4 p.m. and the event registration. So you may meet certified disabled veteran-owned businesses in one location to help you meet New Jersey mandated DVOB goals. Talk one-on-one with these veteran businesses to assess their capabilities and discuss partnering with them on upcoming project events. For more information, you can contact info@njveteranschamber.com. And this location will be at 2600 Woodbridge Avenue in the College Center at Middlesex College, and it's building parking lot number 3 in Edison. There will also be a construction industry career day, May 31st and June 1st at the New Jersey Convention and Expo Center in Edison. Come and learn, explore, and enjoy. Tuesday night is the showcase and is open to anybody. Wednesday night, June 1st, is open to high school groups only. New Jersey Transit, the way to go. There's a hiring link on the township website. If you're a teen or a college student looking for an entry-level internship and training and employment, text workforce, okay, to 56512. Again, text the word workforce to extension 56512, or go to middlesexcountynj.gov, www.middlesexcountynj.gov, and search for the Youth One Stop Center. Okay. Also, we're looking for substitute teachers. If you've acquired 30 college credits and you are presently enrolled either part-time or full-time as a student, you qualify to be a substitute teacher. If you've acquired 60 college credits, you do not need to be enrolled as a student, and you also qualify to be a substitute teacher. Please follow the link on the township website. There is also a link for Civil Service Commission on the job site. And I'd also like to mention that the Township Hall of Fame is back in action and meeting again since COVID, and is hoping to put a class in the Hall of Fame very soon, so stay tuned. Over the weekend, I attended 2 events, and I just wanted to mention one. I wanted to congratulate Councilwoman Meehan for a very successful event for the fundraiser for PJ, who was in a very severe car accident. I spent about 3 or 4 hours there. It was like an Island reunion. I really enjoyed myself, and it was all for a good cause, and there were great, just great relationships that were there that day, and I actually even won a prize. So it was nice to go there, do something nice for a young man who's done some nice things around our township. And a lot of people came together for a very good cause. And I also want to mention that the tooling around the township, which took place this past weekend, we had over 13 locations, including 12 homes and 1 Island Library, the certified garden for the blind. We had over 100 volunteers come out and help at various locations and help, whether it be building a wheelchair ramp or cleaning up a yard, something. It's nice to see that Woodbridge Township kicked in. And lastly, I'm sorry, I just wanted to address Mr. Tramador's comments. Yes, I did correct Mr. Tramador and tell him he was wrong because he did not have the standards correct. He sat there and he quoted things that happened in middle school. There is sex education in middle schools, all right? There's sex education in high schools, right? The standards have been addressed. The governor has made sure that our districts know that they have to work within their towns and within their constituents and all of their stakeholders on how they're going to deliver sex education. The standards are the standards, and teachers do have to get those standards in, but they're going to work within their districts and their communities on how they're going to deliver them. The last meeting, he made some comments about teachers teaching a 5-year-old a certain sex act that was very extreme from whatever Fox News or whatever news source that he got it from, but he got the age wrong, and it was not factual. So that is why I corrected him, and tonight, obviously, he was offended by me correcting him. If you're going to come up and you're just going to state anything, yeah, and if there are people that have information that says that your information is incorrect, I don't think it's responsible to go out and to the public and just spew out incorrect information. So that's all I have to say on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Patel's excused. Councilman McCullough.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just have a few announcements to make. So tomorrow, we are having a Relay for Life fundraiser at the Woodbridge High School. It's going to be the Woodbridge PBA is going to play basketball against the Woodbridge High School teachers. There's a $5 entrance, and the money will get donated to Relay for Life. That's at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Also, the Chamber of Commerce is having an after hours at Roosevelt's Deli on 684 King George's Road in Fords from 4 to 6. This is a great event for Woodbridge businesses to go out and get themselves out there. They're encouraged to come out, mingle with other businesses, and learn how the Chamber can benefit your business. So that would be great to go to. Coming up next Saturday, May 14th, is going to be an extremely busy day in downtown Woodbridge. There's a lot of stuff going on, so make sure that you mark your calendars.
First, St. James is having its Tiki Time Spring Auction. So make sure you swing by there. That is from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission is $20. And you can get your tickets by calling 732-634-0500 extension 105. Also, the Chamber of Commerce will be having their street fair from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So stroll around Main Street, shop the vendors, grab some food, and enjoy downtown Woodbridge. And finally, Eric LeGrand's Coffee Shop will be opening on the Saturday, May 14th. That is located at 10 Green Street in the new Avenue and Green development. The opening events start at 10 a.m. with a ribbon cutting at 11 o'clock in the morning. Also, the downtown dollars are still available, so you can go onto the downtown website, downtownwoodbridge.com, to purchase your downtown gift cards. This is a great gift for Mother's Day, and there are 30 participating retailers on downtown Main Street that are in this program, so it really helps. You can buy the gift card and use it at any of those retailers. You do not have to use it at one specific retailer. And I'd like to thank Alex, who is a 10-year-old author of The Adventures of the Muffin Man. Alex had a book signing at the Woodbridge Community Center last Saturday, and it was an amazing turnout. He is an autistic child, and he wrote and illustrated The Adventures of the Muffin Man, and he had a book signing there, and it was so well attended. Teachers, principals, his therapists, everyone was out there, and the best thing about this whole entire event, he donated all the money for all the books that he sold that day to the PACE program for Woodbridge. So that was a very commendable thing that he did, and he's an amazing young man. Lastly, I'd just like to say Happy Mother's Day to my fellow councilmates, the administration, and all the residents of Woodbridge Township. Have a very blessed Mother's Day.
Thank you. Council Vice President Carey.
Thank you, Council President. Councilwoman McAuliffe and I were over at Red Oak Senior Center. There was a little mishap there with a candle, and it set off the fire water suppression system. 10 rooms got wet. The EMS system in general, the fire department, the police department, the way they reacted and the passion that they exhibited towards the seniors, the people with disabilities. The officer at the front door was there. I didn't catch your name, brother. I'm sorry. What's your name? Officer did a great job. He was trying to gather information while bedlam was going on. Thank God everybody is okay, just some water damage, but just a good, compassionate job by our EMS, so thank you.
Mr. Mitch. Something I did?
Sit down.
Thank you, Mr. President. Generally speaking, my agenda is in order. You'll be seeing I added on a new liquor license transfer that just came in today, and also we have our mandatory retail licensee training for May the 26th. As I mentioned at a prior meeting, it is online this year again. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mayor McCormick. I'm good, thank you, Council President. Deputy Director Niski.
Thank you, Council President. I have a few items on my agenda: 2 traffic and parking ordinance proposals and 1 handicap parking space addition.
Thank you. Director Dart.
Thank you, Council President. Just our standard bi-weekly refunds. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Brew.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order tonight.
Thank you. Business Administrator Zanuka.
Thank you, Council President. For Administration and Finance, I have an agreement for the 4th of July fireworks display. I have a proposal for USA Architects for a lift platform for the staircase at the Acacia Center. I also have a proposal for Peak Environmental for environmental services for the Mount Carmel Parish. And I have a few add-ons tonight, Council President. I have a shared service agreement between the Board of Education and Tech 2000. I have a renewal for Evergreen Center lease with the Board of Education. I have a renewal for a cooperative purchasing agreement with the Board of Education, and I have a shared service agreement with the Board of Education for cable television. And I have, number 5, I have a T&M proposal for the Club Cafe and entryway renovations. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Legal?
Thank you, Council.
Motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.